Hello and welcome to Cardiology Now's first cooking demonstration. We're going to have some fun tonight. I need to get an apron on. And we'll get started. We're going to make 4 courses, and believe it or not, we're going to try to do this in 15-20 minutes. So pay attention. Don't touch pause. Well, if you have to, I suppose. Anyway, look, we're going to do 4 courses. We're going to start with dessert. Aha! Fresh strawberries, quartered. The reason they're quartered with the tops chopped off, we want the surface area. Okay? So we're going to make strawberries. And what we're going to do here, we have a bit of sugar. The chef's hands are clean. There you go. A little bit of sugar on your strawberries. And what? Vinegar for dessert? You bet. It's good stuff when you do it right. So we have our strawberries with a little sugar, and then we're going to put a little balsamic vinegar. And what you're going to find is that the balsamic vinegar will pull a little water out of the strawberries, and in 15 to 30 minutes you're going to have a magnificent dessert, and I'm going to make it for you. So we're going to cover it over with just a little bit of plastic, perhaps. I love it when a plan comes together. Okay, it's not the cooking channel, folks, so just be calm. So here you go. You just cover it and kind of squish it around a little bit, like so, and then put it over here to rest. This is going to be dessert. Now, for our appetizer, we have 2 kinds of figs. We have a fresh fig and we have a dried fig. And they both work wonderfully well with a bit of goat cheese. Now notice I've put this in the microwave for a few seconds so you can kind of work with it. So we have our goat cheese. And we're going to just put it on the fig. And here we have a bit of prosciutto, Italian cured ham, and we simply wrap the whole thing up. Voila. And I've made a couple ahead of time. So we have 4 guests for dinner tonight. And we also have the dried fig, a bit more goat cheese. There you go. We'll get that out of the way. And we'll wrap this guy up as well. And now we have 2 courses done. Amazing. But it needs a bit of, sauce. So with the dried figs, I'm thinking I'm going to go with this one. The spicy Thai mango. Huh? Look at the color. It's nice orange. So let's see if we can do this kind of artistically here. And we're going to just kind of make a few little drips. Oh, look at the colors too. Ooh. Okay. Out of the way. And then with the fresh figs, I like this strawberry vinaigrette. Okay, this is one brand. There's many out there. All this stuff's available at our local supermarkets. Okay. And so just a little, Ooh, I like the colors again. There you go. So, all of a sudden, put this over here to rest as well, we have 2 courses done. Appetizer and dessert. But we need salad. Salad is great. So, to do salad, we're doing tonight, today, a scallop salad. So you have, this is nothing in here, just a pot. You're going to put it on medium-high heat. And at the same time, for the scallop salad, we need a nice cast iron pan. We're going to warm this guy up as well. And what we're going to do in the plain old pan, we have some, okay, on the East Coast we call these scallions. Most people call them green onions. I've cut them in half, and then I'm just going to kind of do like so. And they are ready. And here's the best device. I recommend all of you get one of these immediately. Okay, you shovel up your stuff so you don't like throw it on your floor and make a gigantic mess. So we want to char these. So basically we're putting this on medium-high heat. And in they go. Let me warn you, you have to pay attention, because if you make them too black, they don't taste good. Okay, so now we want to get the potatoes ready, because that's part of a scallop salad. By the way, these recipes will all be on the website. Just click, have fun, take the recipe, print it out if you wish, and we'll go from there. This thing's worth its weight in gold. No, it's not a badminton racket. It's for pan splatter. You got to have these. These are very important. So we take the extra virgin olive oil. Don't buy anything less. It's just not good. I hear these crackling here a little bit. Can you hear that? Ooh, I can hear it. Okay, olive oil back here. About a tablespoon, maybe a tablespoon and a half. And what we're going to put in there are, we have 4 guests for dinner. These are basically 2 russet potatoes, the small little guys. And in they go. So, there you have it. Now I got to tell you, that cast iron pot is going to get hot. So you need your UGG glove. Okay, we'll do that later. Oh, here's a few more, little renegades. Okay, so that guy's over there. He's going to kind of cook. These guys are charring. And now for our entree, we're going to have Linguini Positano. Positano is a little town on the Italian Riviera, and Italy's surrounded by water, so it's kind of a nice little pasta dish with shrimp. So again, tablespoon, tablespoon and a half of olive oil, and we're going to, here we are on the front. Again, we're going to kind of go, medium-high heat. And to start, everybody always asks me, how do you make sauce? How do you make sauce? Well, I got to tell you, the 3 most important things are garlic, onions, olive oil. So, chopped small white onion, medium-sized white onion, poof. There you go. And here are some garlic. We've chopped up the garlic. I have a hard time getting the skin off the garlic. You put your garlic clove in the microwave for 10 seconds. Take it out, bingo, easy. So it's in there. Okay, then you need your spatula. See how we're charring here? Let me hold that up. Get a little blackness, just a little blackness. Starting up, I'm going to turn the heat down on the front. And I'm starting to hear my potatoes sizzle. Oh, does that not make you hungry? I hope so. Okay, so here we go. And we want to get these potatoes kind of golden brown. Okay. And here we're going to start working on our olive oil and onion and garlic. Okay. Okay. Now, we have to add a little salt and pepper to these things. But I have to tell you, the great rule of cooking is you can always add more. You can't get any back. Okay. So, I have some very nice pink Himalayan sea salt. Doesn't have to be this. A nice sea salt would be great. Don't use this stuff. This stuff is not for cooking. Something like this. For psychological reasons anyway, it's great. Okay, a little salt there. And how about a little salt here. Remember, you can always add more. And I've got some, this is just McCormick's ground black pepper. Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. And we're going to add a little bit of that. Pinch, whatever a pinch means to you. Okay. And now that cast iron pot is getting hot. And these guys are basically just about done. So we're going to turn the front off and we're going to work on our potatoes. Whoops. Well, that was clumsy. Here, that's what we want to do. See that sizzle? That means they're getting, see, they're starting to get brown. This is a good sign. Okay. And they're not spattering, so I don't need to cover them. This pot doesn't transfer the heat. And here, yep, this is starting to come around. We've got a nice medium-high heat. And what we want to do, oh, home cooking. What we want to do is caramelize the onions and garlic. So I'm going to turn up the heat just a little bit. We have some pasta water because we are doing linguine tonight. And I want to talk to you a little bit about the scallops. Okay? Scallops were frozen. These are the 13, 15 count scallops, which means 13 or 15 scallops to the pound. And you want them dry. So they're on a paper towel. They have to be dry. It's very, very important your scallops are dry. Okay, these guys are charred, so they're done. So I'm going to take them off the heat and we're going to put them over there. And we're working on entree. And continuing to work on our potatoes. Oh boy, oh that smells wonderful. Okay, remember we got 2 courses in the bag, so we're doing great. Okay, all right. Now, our onions and garlic are coming along extremely nicely. Working on the main course. Working on the main course. Now, Linguini Positano implies a bit of tomatoes. Now, we unfortunately are in a time of year where fresh tomatoes are a problem. So I have a can of very nice diced tomatoes. Now this dish needs hydration, so I'm not going to drain the tomatoes. I'm simply going to add them. And we'll work those into the sauce. So we're now making a very nice sauce for our pasta. And we'll let that simmer a little bit. And we'll come back to our potatoes. Now you want your potatoes, you don't have to overdo them, you don't certainly want to blacken them, but you want to get them so that they're kind of nice and soft and nice and brown. And so this is coming along extraordinarily well. And we'll give that a few minutes. I would say another minute or 2 and those are going to be perfect. Now this sauce is coming along spectacularly well. And so we now add our final ingredient, which is, again, this is about for 4 people. This is a pound of shrimp. These are the 21, 25 count shrimp. You could go 26, 30s. After that, it becomes kind of thankless to peel them, I tell you. And so this is a pound of shrimp. Oh, by the by, you defrost your scallops and shrimp are frozen. You defrost them in water. The shrimp can stay a little moist. As I said, the scallops have to be very dry. So bam, in goes the shrimp. And of course, you want to do your shrimp until they pink up, okay? Oh my goodness, look at that. That is beyond the pale. Okay, back to the potatoes. And now we're going to do what only home chefs can do. So you can't do this on TV. We're going to taste it ourselves. Okay. One more half a minute. And these guys are ready. Okay. So we will need a receptacle for our potatoes, and I happen to have the one from which the potatoes came. And so we will simply get the potatoes out of this pot. I'm going to turn down the heat just for a minute, and you'll see why in a second. Okay, I've got to change my UGG glove because I am, if you haven't noticed, inherently left-handed. And so we'll get our potatoes out of here. And we're going to use the same pot to do our scallops. Okay? Okay, that's good enough. You can leave a few potatoes. That will never hurt anything. Put it on low heat now. And you're going to add another tablespoon of olive oil. Beautiful. And then, about 2 tablespoons of butter. Bingo. And we're going to let that butter melt. There you go. Oh yeah. So you've got a little olive oil, about a tablespoon of olive oil or so, 2 tablespoons of butter, and now you want to add your scallops. I'm going to go on medium heat, and you put in your scallops. Your scallops need to cook for about 1 to 1.5 minutes on each side. You only turn them once, and if possible, you try not to let the poor things break up. It's so much better visual if the scallops are intact, if you will. There we go. Move them around so they don't stick. All right, now back to the main course. Ah, perfect. Now you see you got a little goop on the bottom there. That's kind of the, I don't know, the protein from the shrimp as it cooks, etc., etc., etc. See it over there? Look at that. And now we're going to do the marvelous deglazing of the pan. Very important. Use a nice, this is a yellowtail Chardonnay from Australia. So you want it to glaze with a little white wine. And that will pull that brown stuff into your sauce. And it'll pull it off, there it goes, comes off the bottom of the pan. Gets in the sauce, which will now pick up a little bit of the white wine flavor. The alcohol will boil off. For those of you who are non-imbibers. Although I must say a meal without wine is like a day without sun, but each to his own. Okay, now I need to turn the heat down here considerably, and I'm going to heat up the rear because we have to do our pasta. Now this is important. Scallops are on a roll, and I am using tonight refrigerated pasta. Okay, this happens to be a brand I like. There's many. And this is in the refrigerator section of your grocery store. If you use regular old linguini, the hard pasta, 11 or 12 minutes, okay? This stuff is going to be ready in a minute, if you can believe it. So we're going to get our water boiling. We're looking at our scallops here. We have our potatoes. Scallops have been about a minute or a minute and a half. So we're going to turn them over once. See how nice they are on the bottom? That's what you're looking for. Okay, about another minute on that side. And they'll be done. Meanwhile, arguing that a watch pot never boils, the water is boiling. This is done. You don't want to overdo your shrimp, and we'll heat this up when the linguini's ready. Because if you overcook your shrimp, they get rubbery. Same with the scallops, okay? So that's not something you want to do. Okay, our scallops are ready. They need to be saved. Let's take them off the heat and let's put them safely aside. Again, try at all costs to keep them intact. It's more a visual thing than anything else, but you get a few deduction and points if you rip up your scallops, but it's okay. They still taste fine. Okay, now we've got this wonderful sauce here, and I also noticed, voila, our pasta water is boiling. Okay, our pasta water is boiling, so we are now ready for our refrigerated pasta. Unceremoniously in the water, and it will take just a couple of minutes to do these. It's truly an amazing product. So let's just loosen them up a little bit, and in a few seconds the water will reboil. The other thing I need to tell you is that you always save your pasta water in case you need some additional hydration. So while the pasta is reboiling, we need to make the salad. We have the scallions we charred. Bingo. They go in. And then we want to make some greens with this salad. So I have some of my favorites. Baby arugula. Good stuff. And you put as much greens as you really feel like having. There. Wow. Everything. Whoops. There you go. And I'm also going to add tonight one of my other favorite greens. Baby spinach. And you add a bunch because when it wilts down, of course it will not be as bulky as all this. And we're making dinner for 4 here. So now we're going to crank up the rear again so we can wilt our salad. This comes over here. I have a little parsley. Ooh, what am I going to do with that? I'm not telling you just yet. Okay. So now we wilt our greens. And greens will wilt fairly quickly in a pot. So do keep an eye on them. You don't want to turn them into, I don't know, a funeral pyre, I suppose. But see how they're starting to break down already? See the scallops are coming along. You're using a little bit of that oil and butter. Okay? Wow! Oh, that smells good. Then we have our potatoes. Poof. In they go. Renegade. Tastes good. So the salad is now wilted down. We can turn the heat way down. And then the secret ingredient, ta-da! A little red wine vinegar. You need about a teaspoon, tablespoon. You do it to taste. And I have done this many times, so I know how much I like. Heat can turn down, and lo and behold, scallops can come back. And now that is ready to rest. Oh my goodness, look at our pasta. Wow, pasta's fantastic. You slide over here and get a fork. I dropped on the floor. We won't use the 5-second rule here. We'll get a new fork. Oh yeah, pasta's perfect. That was in there for a minute, okay? Now, the secret, you have to have the tool that you need. The pasta drainer. Don't put your sauce on the pasta. Put your pasta on the sauce. That's the way to do it, guys. And save your pasta water because you likely will have to hydrate the dish, okay? Lo and behold, what a nice product, huh? A little more expensive than dried pasta. But you know, if you don't have all night to do this stuff, bingo. Now, you don't need a spatula for this. Our salad is happy over there. But you do need to work all these things together. So as you see, you work the sauce into the pasta. The heat is off because the pan is plenty hot. And little by little, you turn it over, you incorporate, and you meld these flavors of the onion, the garlic, the tomatoes, the shrimp, the white wine, until you end up with something that looks like this. Okay, and now we are ready to plate. So, let us go from the get-go. Our first course is the fresh and dried figs, with prosciutto and goat cheese. So those will be ready to go. And in our second, not our second, but our last course, now look what's happened here. I need to show you this. You see how this has pulled the water out of those strawberries? Whoa, that's really good. So my humble judgment is, if your dietary taste and your cholesterol can handle it, you want to do this with a little vanilla ice cream. Okay, but I screwed up. I should have taken this out earlier, but no harm. 20 seconds in the microwave will be perfect. So we'll let that cook, and now let's plate the scallop salad. Notice how the greens have just mellowed out almost fantastically, if you will. Okay. There's your scallop salad. And the ice cream is ready. So I think this will look great on a white plate. So let's just take a little bit of our strawberries, balsamic, and sugar. A little bit of juice. You don't need a lot for dessert, guys. We all probably, sadly, eat too much dessert. And I've got a little vanilla ice cream. I have to tell you, the combination of those flavors is beyond the pale. So, almost done. We have one more dish to plate, and that is our Linguini Positano. Separate our pasta. This is only 9 ounces of pasta for 4 people. And I'll tell you, there'll be tons of food. Okay, let's get some of the shrimp and tomato sauce. And I would say, my humble judgment is, that just seems just a touch, if you will, just a touch dry. So as I warned you, save your pasta water. That'll just give it that little extra hydration as the pasta cooks, and it will soak up some water. And then finally, a smidge of fresh parsley. Voila, 4 courses. Figs, scallop salad, linguini positano, strawberries with balsamic, sugar, and a bit of ice cream. Buon appetito. A presto. Ciao.